Realistically, if I wasn't here with Mark, I'd probably just take a rest day because I've been wrestling and traveling the last 3 days. But being around Mark is like my pre-workout. So today we're gonna do an upper body day. So my legs and lower back have some chance to heal from all the choke slams that I've been taking. So really right now I'm in a strength.
500 for a set of 5 on the bench or something like that, incline. Keep it nice and easy.
Yeah, I want to take a break from wrestling, so let's tear my pec.
How are your arms so big? Legitimate question. Like, did you work on your arms a lot from the time you were really young, or did they grow with like wrestling and other sports that you did?
Thank you, I appreciate it. I think, so I used to consider my arms a weak part from a bodybuilding perspective, but they actually got bigger when I started powerlifting, because then I just started treating curls like I would a squat, bench, or deadlift, and just started really trying to progress it from a number standpoint. And that's the way I've been treating arm training pretty much ever since, and that seems to do really well for me. I got into strict curl for a short stint there. I was actually trying to set records with the curl and everything like that.
What's the most you curled?
So the most I curled at 200 was 196. That was in training, and then in competition I did a 181. But there are two different bars. They switched to a gopher bar. That's what they use now, which is like a little bit more like a hammer curl. But on a traditional easy curl bar, I've done 181 in competition.
For people that don't know, like that's pretty serious. Like that's getting into like, that's knocking on the door of like being very competitive, right?
Yeah, at the time it was a world record for the federation, even non-tested as well.
I don't know a ton about curl, but I've heard the numbers get thrown around, and I know that like right around 200 is like a...
Yes, I think the best at 198 is like 210 or something like that, like right now currently. Wow. So yeah, body weight, curl, like right around 200, I think that's like kind of peak for the most part. I don't know why my biceps are comparatively strong to people that are even like enhanced, because deadlift I am strong from a natural standpoint, but competitively, with enhanced people, there's a big gap. Yeah. But biceps for whatever reason. But I think, again, I just like to progress the curls and everything that I do from a strength perspective, and that seems to do well from a size standpoint.
When did you grow the most? I was going to say, when did you have the most growth, but I didn't want to say growth because then people are like, oh, he's on growth. No, yeah. When did you experience the most growth? Because we looked at an old video of you while we were podcasting, there was a footage of you, talking on camera, and you're like, oh, that's when I was like really deep into powerlifting, and you weighed like 260 or so.
Yeah, yep.
I think one of the problems, if it is a problem, I think an issue that some young men face today is they're not willing to trade out like getting a little puffy, having, not that you were fat in the video, you were jacked, but you had more body fat than you have now.
Yep.
A lot of people aren't willing to make that trade. Like, so did you experience a lot of growth from powerlifting, and were you trying to like just get as big as possible?
I wish I could tell you that was my purpose, but honestly it was lack of discipline in a diet, eating fast food twice a day, and then having some sort of imaginary correlation. Oh, my numbers are going up because I'm eating this way, so we must keep eating this way.
That was a little powerlifting at the time.
Yeah,
and you were following with like what I was doing, and a lot of other people were just kind of like fast food maxing, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. But being on the other side of it, because when I was in jiu-jitsu, staying around 200, I saw where my numbers were able to get up still, even eating much more normally and healthy and whatnot. Right. So it wasn't necessarily because of that, but during that time, I wasn't purposely trying to grow per se from a bodybuilding perspective, but I did notice when I switched my training to just heavy compounds and being injury free during that time, I did add a lot of general size doing that. Nowadays, I think the majority of my size is more so maintenance, and whatever I do add is just coming from applying some of the same powerlifting strength concepts in a way that's appropriate and indicative of the goals that I'm trying to achieve through wrestling. Because I'm still pushing hard, getting close to failure on things. I think the biggest thing that I wanted to touch on with this is a lot of my workouts now, I'll just keep it to 2 working sets tops more often than not, and just try to do 2 really hard sets somewhere between 1 to 2 reps away from failure, if not like 2 failure on some things, and then just move on to the next one. And that's been actually really helpful to continue to build, but not do so much to where I'm starting to feel it in the ring.
And this is like a dedication for you, like your body's your life, everyone hates the term influencer, but you are an influencer and you are a professional wrestler, so it's like this is your job in a sense to like look good, right? And to come in looking, but still, you still need motivation. Do you find it motivating when you can say to yourself, all right, yesterday was kind of tough wrestling, I wrestled the day before, did jiu-jitsu or lifted a couple days earlier, I'm kind of sore, is it easier for you to talk yourself to get into the gym when you're like, I'm just going to go, I'm doing 2 different exercises and I'm doing 2 sets for both and I'm out?
Yes. Yeah. So that's a great point. It's easier mentally for me to be like, okay, well, I'm going to do, so before, it'd be 3 sets, 4 sets, 5 sets, whatever. And
There for an hour and a half, easy, just
Yes.
working on biceps, triceps. Or
Exactly.
something, right?
Yeah. Dr. Mike calls it like lifting for vibes. And that's kind of like what I did for a long time. And when you're younger, you can definitely get away with it and you can make progress that way. However, now, since I'm purposely making myself do less sets, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, I know that I'm not going to be in there nearly as long or do nearly as much as maybe what my ego wants. So it motivates me to like get in there and make the most out of every single set so that I can go home and get on to the next session. Yeah. Yeah.
I've found that for myself as well, and a lot of people ask about motivation. I've found that, there is the idea of just getting started. Like a lot of people out there just need to get started, and that's a different conversation. But for those of you that have started but are just lacking some motivation here and there, sometimes some of that's just like overtraining, or really just asking yourself. I don't want to say like asking too much of yourself, but you're asking yourself to do a lot, and because you're asking yourself to do a lot, your brain is going like, man, that's a lot of work.
Yes.
Like we already went to work today. It's 6:30. I could go home. I could see my wife. I could kiss the baby. Like all those things, they feel amazing. But you'll feel more amazing if you can talk yourself into getting to the gym, say 2 exercises, and maybe one warm-up set, 1 go-for-it set, and then you're out.
Yes. Personally, I think from a viewer standpoint, one of the biggest lessons I take from Mark now in his current chapter is just, he's a great example of constant daily investments, even if they're considered small in the moment, like a 10-minute thing or a 30-minute thing or whatever. He's just been very consistent regardless of the amount of time spent on that particular day. Whereas a guilt of mine is, do I have 2 hours to get a full session in today? No? Well, all right, well, we'll rest and try to do it tomorrow, Right. And it's hard for me to motivate myself to get in, to do 1 or 2 things and feel content with myself. But the older I get and the more wrestling continues to grow, I now realize I need to get better at that mindset, because ultimately the answer is generally doing something is better than nothing. And that's something that I never really had to think about, because consistency in the gym was never an issue for me. If anything, it was trying to get myself to pull back. But now trying to find the happy medium to continue to do something, even if I don't have the time to allocate for it.
Amazing. Show us what's up. Show us what we're going to do.
All right. So nothing too crazy exercise-wise today. We're going to keep things relatively simple. In today's world, bodybuilding machines are becoming very popular and very trendy, and I've found myself guilty of like feeling like you're at Disneyland, you just want to ride every single ride or whatever,
gravitating towards that.
There's some really cool machines out there, but then I get into that for too long, and then I get away from basic pull-ups or dumbbell bench or squats or some sort of hinge variation, and I find myself losing touch on the basics that got me to the point that I'm at now, even like push-ups and dips and whatnot. So I really like Mark's setup here, outside of like the history that is super training, but just you have a lot of great options, but also you just have a lot of simple options to where you can stick to the bare basics and just focus on developing a good physique or a good strength from the core. So we're going to start with basic dumbbell press. Recently, my goal in this current strength phase is to build up to the 160s again for 4 to 5 reps, because that would be like where I was before like all the black mold poisoning hit. My goal in this like strength phase is to get to where I was before that hit. So I'm working with that, but today will be a little bit by feel. Like if I feel okay, we might go heavy for 1 set and then back off for 1. But if not, then we can probably call it a deload day, just because it's been a long week of traveling and wrestling. But I'll hit 2 dumbbell sets here. Sometimes I'll superset it with the pull. We don't have to today. Just depends on how much time that we have and whatnot. But yeah.
Sick. And then you're going to have a follow-up movement. You're going to do 2 chest movements, or you're going to do like a chest and tricep, or?
Yeah. So for a full upper day, I'll try to hit everything, like every upper body muscle at least once for 2 working sets. Maybe Maybe at the end, if I have a little bit more time, I might do arms for 3 or something like that. But I generally hit 2 up on a perfect week of training, 2 upper body days, and then 1 full body day. So that full body day, I just do like 1 working set of every single muscle group. So collectively, from a frequency standpoint, I touch that, and then also from a total volume throughout the week, I can spread it out. But each workout, I have more to give generally, because I'm not doing 3 sets of dumbbell bench and then going to the incline machine or what have you. And it's easier. I like it this way because I can see progress tracked much more easily, because I'm coming into these workouts much more fresh, you know?
I dig it.
Yeah. The problem with dumbbells is like a standard dumbbell, you'll see down at the end if I'm doing 150s or whatever, unless I'm turning it neutral, which changes in some ways the muscles that we're hitting, not all of the muscles, but it changes the target. But my point is with the big dumbbells, it's basically almost impossible to have, say, a pronated grip and get a deep stretch in the pecs. So I'll do a set heavy with whatever weight that I'm shooting for on that day, and then I'll generally back down to a weight where the dumbbell is dense enough or thin enough to be able to get a deep stretch. And the reason why I do that is much more from a durability standpoint. Like, I don't want to get so strong in a particular range of motion that here to here loses its strength and durability. You know, I generally always try to train things in a full range of motion, just from the aspect of I do jiu-jitsu or I do wrestling, and it's important to have strength and durabilities in these different areas. But nowadays, I find myself doing certain things like a heavy dumbbell press where maybe it's a shorter range of motion, but I'm more so just focusing on the power output that I'm able to display and build, and then just always having either a set or a separate exercise that allows me to test my muscles in longer ranges of motion so I can continue to maintain mobility and strength in those positions. Because in day-to-day life, that's all great. In jiu-jitsu, it's very, very important. And in wrestling, it's great because you go into the matches with a general idea of what's going to happen, but you can never anticipate what might go wrong. Like, I've heard stories where people have torn their bicep or their pec hanging onto the rope for too long. And so you can never anticipate situations like that happening. So training like this in the gym, and especially the way that we're doing earlier with Mark and Nsima, are all great ways to prepare your body, general physical preparedness, to prepare your body for all the different things that life can throw at you.
Good strong set here. 4, yep, nice, smooth.
Okay, let go one.
Nice.
Let's try one. Thank you, appreciate it. Let's try the 150s.
Looking strong. Good job, dude.
I remember that session you took me through the last time, like a shoulder injury at the time.
Yeah.
So I think we're doing like 35 or 45 tops. But we're doing like, I don't know if you remember, but it was like partial reps. But
Are we doing timed, maybe time pressing?
Something like that. I just remember how sore I was in my chest the next day from just doing that. Yeah, it was a great workout.
Yeah, a lot of times I show people like 2-minute dumbbell benching or something like that. Like,
okay.
You just
that might have been it. Yeah,
you just keep going. So like what you remember from that probably is that like you get to like a minute and a half and you're just smoked.
Yeah.
And then you got to kind of just like hold it at the bottom and just hold on to whatever way you can. But your chest is just stretching, like your body's just screaming.
Yeah, that was great.
It gets to be really challenging.
That was great. Yeah, that's cool. Somewhere from 5 to 8, I'm assuming, something like that. There you go. That's what we needed. Yep. Thank you.
Let's go. Come on now.
All right. I've been waiting my whole life for this.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Come on, get after it.
Yep.
Nice.
One more.
Yep. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I highly overestimated how that was going to be. That was going to be a little easier. Yeah, last week I did 7, but I was much more fresh coming in.
That's that's a old school, like, kind of West Side barbell principle is your max for the day.
Yeah.
Like where you're
right.
at for the day.
Yeah.
And supposedly you get the same stimulus.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though you did more last time, because if you think about it this way, your nervous system is like jacked up just a tiny bit, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you had to put the same effort in, or maybe even a harder effort with that versus what you did last week.
Yeah, exactly.
I did do them for 50 at one point.
Oh, I don't doubt it. Here you go, Mark. Nice. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Good. 16. Nice. 17. Nice.
That's it.
Yep. Great stuff.
Woo.
Not bad for not doing it.
Right? Yeah.
I failed you, only 19.
Good set.
Thank you.
All the sprinting I've been doing, man, your hamstrings take a beating.
Yeah,
So
how do
I'm
they
like,
feel?
I need to just train the fuck out of them, like get them to be really resilient.
Is that the main part you feel sore after you sprint?
Yeah, they're just like torched. My back will get tight too. I think it's all kind of connected,
Yeah, okay, that
What
makes
you doing
sense.
with that guy?
Oh, no, I was just going to move it.
Oh, okay.
Is that Nsima's?
I don't know. Probably.
Okay.
Pull-ups?
Pull-ups, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, basic pull-ups.
You can't ever get too much of the basics.
Yeah, exactly.
Think about like who can benefit from the basics the most. I mean, everyone can benefit from it, but like people in the beginning and people that have been lifting for a long time
Yeah.
get the most out of the basics, right? People that are kind of in their middle, they can kind of toy around and play around with various things and learn what feels good for them, right?
Yeah, anytime where I've considered my physique to be of the bestest looked, it's when my basics are hitting the most, in my opinion. And obviously people build physiques with a bunch of different things, but me personally, I've always felt like, yeah, that physique was when I could do pull-ups with 135 around my waist, you know? So I'm trying to build up back to that again, or around there.
How are you liking Austin?
It was best decision I've ever made
that's
for myself, for sure, by far. As far as, like, when I bet on myself to get out there, I just had the idea that what I did in Arizona, I think I could do somewhere else, but with the ceiling being a little bit higher in the industries that I'm in, and it's ended up working well. I'm one away from like being accomplished on my checklist of goals that I had moving to Austin. Everything else is, thankfully fallen into place. So
Austin is really cool. I remember like going down there and seeing you and all that stuff. But like, I went out for a run and I ran into like 5 or 6 really prominent high-level runners. You know what I mean?
Was it in downtown?
Yeah,
by the lake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, and the same thing would happen, with jiu-jitsu. It's so big there, right? You go into a jiu-jitsu class, and it's like the best guys in the world are all there, right?
Yeah, and I met Mark. Well, I've trained Mark Henry's son since being out here.
Oh, wow.
Out there, yeah. So Mark's a good friend of mine. Undertaker's out there. Kofi Kingston was out there. He moved. Dustin, obviously. But yeah, another couple like current WWE guys that you may not know, but there's a lot of wrestlers out there too.
Mark Henry had a son that was playing some football and doing really well too,
Yeah,
right? Is that, I don't know.
Yep, at Oklahoma University.
Damn.
Yep. Yeah,
he's
big boy.
Mark Henry's such a great athlete.
Yeah, to me, To me, I would call him like the Michael Jordan of lifting, because what he was able to accomplish in multiple different strength sports on top of like being wrestler, now understanding how hard wrestling is, I'm just like, damn, like when he walked into the Arnold and beat everybody with no strongman experience competing, like that's a crazy thought to think about. So I remember, you remember that clip where he tore the steel chain from the cage? Yeah, that's crazy. It was supposed to be gimmicked, but they forgot to get a fake one.
Oh, his strength is legendary. I mean, 900-pound deadlift.
Right.
Some of the things he did in Olympic lifting at such a young age. And then also the guy's dunking a basketball.
Yeah, that too.
When he was 400-something pounds.
Yeah.
I think he's lost a lot of weight these days, though, right?
Yeah, he has actually. Yeah, he's looking good.
It's good to see people like go a little bit more, or just try to be healthier.
Yeah.
You know, as they get a little older.
Yeah, he's looking good.
That's good.
He actually called me during the podcast. I'll have to tell him I saw you.
I've always liked those grips you're wearing. Like, I think those are great.
Yeah, these are my favorite by far.
You think pull-ups have been a big part of helping to build out your back?
I think so. That and deadlifts have been my...
Yeah, deadlifts are interesting because it's weird. You know, like it's like, I don't know, people think like, oh, the deadlift, you know, for kind of thickness of the back or whatever, but not really, and it could be for that, but like you're not really thinking that your lats get flexed the most when your shoulders get decompressed.
Yeah.
Like when your shoulders start to come down real low like that, the lat is like forced to flex. And so when you do 500-pound deadlift, 400-pound, you start to get some weight in your hands, your hands are getting pulled down so hard that lat muscle comes out.
That's what I think.
Like you're not trying to like lift like this necessarily, but you kind of end up there and boom, and you're controlling and pulling the whole thing with like your lat.
Yeah, that's what I think. You know, I think as long as you don't get injured, it is a great back builder for sure. I did see a lot of improvements in my back from my first bodybuilding show, 17, and then coming into my next one at 23, which is like the period where I started powerlifting. You could definitely see a lot in the width and then also the erectors too.
Yeah, building up the erectors is another one. A lot of times in some bodybuilding competitions, some of the ones you go to, you won't see a lot of developed erectors.
Yeah, no. I think those are just so hard to train and like actually push those muscles hard if you're like isolating them, you know, in ways people do. I think it's solid. But deadlift, like I said, if you can not get injured, then it's a really good way to force those muscles to actually work, which is how we make them grow.
It's interesting that bodybuilding is very rarely, some guys do, but very rarely do you see a well-developed neck in bodybuilding.
Too, yeah.
That's also kind of interesting. You see traps, you know, and you see shoulders for sure, but you don't usually see like a neck.
Yeah, that's true. I noticed that. You don't have a neck machine in here, huh?
No.
That'd be cool, yeah.
But yeah, the neck machine, the 4-way neck is great.
I've used that. The Rogers one is my favorite.
And you kind of get to the side, right?
Yeah, Goldberg has one that I really like. But yeah, the Rogers one like kind of curves with you.
Oh, sweet.
So you can actually get a stretch. So yeah,
I should get one. They don't take up that much room. They're not even that expensive.
No.
But neck machines, it's convenient, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, you can attach attachments, and those are all great too, but it's nice when it's just sitting there. Yeah,
I do like the machine over some of the attachments and stuff because, to my previous point, I feel like the muscles are actually being pushed when I'm doing the neck machine more so than I've tried the iron neck and stuff, and it's solid. But as far as like making a muscle like grow and stronger, I do like the neck machine a little bit better personally. Nice. Yeah.
I'll load another one on there. Want me to put another one on you?
I'll just stick to another set with the 30 here. Yep, as for my second one.
You're gonna have to go to the ring with that chain on now.
That is a good idea. Yeah.
There you go. Get after it now. Here we go.
Okay.
Nice work.
Thank you, thank you. Awesome.
There you go.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, these machines are money. The different cams.
Yeah, the Prime is awesome.
Oh yeah. So sometimes you'll do chest and back together. So like you might do pull-ups in between your dumbbell.
Yeah, sometimes I'll just superset them.
Yeah, just
save a
'cause
little bit of
it's
time.
better. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
time constraints and then maybe same thing with an exercise like this. Maybe you'll do a row in between.
Yeah,
or something,
yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
Or rear delts or just something that doesn't interfere with this. Right?
Yeah. Nice.
Want me to? You want to put another quarter on, another 45? I usually do a lot of quarters, so like I can.
Yeah, maybe two quarters
Okay.
on each side.
I'll stick them up top.
Okay, perfect.
There you go. There you go. There you go, Jimmy. Yep.
Awesome.
Is most of your family in like the Arizona area?
Yeah, my mom and dad are still in Arizona, and then the rest are in the Philippines.
Got Filipino power.
Yep. Nice. Nice, Mark. Nice. Awesome.
Whoa.
Great. Still got it.
Yep, loading it up. Booyah.
Thank you, Mark.
I want to move these to the bottom?
Yeah, that sounds great. I had mentioned earlier in certain exercises, I'll feel more appropriate pushing closer to failure. So similar to how Mark did it or what I did on the previous set, I feel, machines like this, pretty safe bet. You can push pretty hard, not have to worry about injury as long as your weight selection's okay and your tempo's good. But this is like a good way to get like sets close to failure and assure that the target muscle is your limiting factor by the end of the set versus sometimes with a dumbbell bench or even pull-ups sometimes there's a lot of things that could play into why you're not completing a rep. So I like aspects of machines like this or even that seal row would be great, but something that completely isolates your ability to take the muscle that you're trying to work and assure that the muscle that you're working becomes the factor that prevents you from doing another rep. That's huge. When you see people do squats and their form starts to break down, where their quads start to fail, that's maybe where you start to see a hinge and their upper and lower back starts to play more of a role. So I like aspects of this to sprinkle into training so you can make sure that you're getting close to failure when it comes to particular movements and your volume throughout the week is quality without having to do excess quantity. Yeah, this one gets harder at the top.
There you go. Good. Give me one more. I'm going to give you a drop set.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Oh, clear.
Awesome. Thank you. Here we go.
Stick with it. Come on. Push, 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 push,
Yep.
push. Let's do two more.
Yeah.
I got you. last one.
Yep. Go. Very nice. Thank you.
Torched.
Yeah, that was great. I love when you like do a drop set and you think all of a sudden it's gonna be, oh yeah, another 10, and then it's like by the third one you're like, yeah, no.
I was like, man, maybe I'm dropping too low if I take all this weight off, and it was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that shit will get you. And these what we're doing right here was more of like a forced rep, you know. So I was giving a little assistance here, so I was pushing on here a little bit.
Yeah.
Give me maybe just a 25 would probably be plenty on the bottom.
On the bottom. Okay, cool.
Or maybe even move both these 25s
okay.
down. We'll do it that way. And your your mindset before you do a set like this, make sure you get yourself prepared. Like you're going in and you're doing something difficult, you're doing something challenging. It wouldn't be any different if you were getting ready to run 6 miles or something like that. Like, clear your mind a little bit, get yourself set, and realize like the set's probably not going to ever really last more than much of a minute.
Yeah, right.
So it's a minute of just working your ass off.
Nice. Nice. Yep. Nice. Sweet. There it is. There it is. There it is. Finish.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Let's pull that from the bottom. Woo-wee.
All good. Nice. That's it. Here you go, Mark. Nice. All you still? Okay, good. I'm with you. Beat it. Good, good, good. Nice. Yep.
Up.
Good.
I'm good for one more.
Okay, here it is. Nice, 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 nice.
Yep.
Good.
I got it.
Very good. Awesome.
Man, I had nothing left on that last rep.
There you go. That was great.
0 strength.
Awesome. Good job, Mark.
Yep.
Yeah, you saw me. So he was getting everything up in the first half, but where we have it set, that top range is the more difficult part. So I was letting him get the first half, and I started coming in on the second half there to help him finish the rep. But yeah, that was great.
When you were bodybuilding, did you pose a little bit in between sets and stuff like that? Did you work on some of that?
Yeah, not necessarily.
Or is it more separate?
Because I've heard where people do that because they have
Just
the
want
idea
the
that
feel and so on.
I've heard where people do it because they or the idea is it helps with like cuts, I guess, or like that's whatever.
Definition.
Holding the poses and such. I never did it with that purpose, but I would just do it for the sake of ego and also practicing the poses in the mirror when you have a pump and stuff like that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and learning it and just feels good. Like it just worked our pecs and feels good just to come in here and just
squeeze,
push your hands together and squeeze and kind of learn. When you're newer, like it takes a minute to kind of learn how to flex.
It does.
Or learn how to flex your left versus your right.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that when I was like a kid trying to figure out like how to flex my arms. It was so weird, like trying to figure out the coordination to flex your left arm.
We all remember our first pec pop, right?
That's right.
I was like 12 and did a little movement, and I was all pumped up.
Like, hey. Have you been much of a reverse curl fan, or?
I would no, I don't normally do them now, but I'm open to it.
Yeah, want to do maybe do a little bit of both?
Okay.
Maybe do how about? I'll just start with like a warm up. Do like 6 reps of both, something like that.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't done these since high school, to be honest. Nice.
A little warm-up weight, or yeah.
I just saw the WWE chair, the No Mercy one. That's cool.
Yeah, it's sick when you go to the pay-per-view. You get to take the chair with you.
Oh, you went to that one. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always liked the reverse curl, and on you, you got pretty good separation between your bicep and your tricep. You can actually see the muscle working right here.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like this guy right here,
there.
brachialis muscle.
Right. 6.
You see like a shadow. It's crazy. Like an arm wrestler, they can like control that spot. And they'll flex it, and you'll go, holy
Flex
shit.
it individually. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, what the.
Awesome.
Ba-boom.
Sweet. Thank you.
So that's 20, about 30, 40.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll do 30 for
30
mine.
for
You
the
can go
reverse.
heavier if you need
I could
to.
probably go heavier on the regular, but not the reverse. Nice.
That worked pretty good for me. You want a little heavier for you, or you think you?
I think I'll do maybe 30 for the reverse.
I'll grab
and
you
maybe
35 for the other one.
40. Yeah, 40 would
Yeah.
be like almost 90, I think. Yeah, we could probably do that.
Might as well.
Thank you. Cool. Thank you.
Might as well be a monster about it.
Right.
The bloody arm right there.
Oh, yeah.
That's his injections. That's where he injects all his juice.
Yeah, it's a very unique needle, but
And he runs around telling everybody he's natty.
it gets the job done. I forgot to cover it up before
It's
I came.
crazy. I went to a coffee shop with him, and he yells at the guy behind the counter. The guy's making his coffee. He's like, "I'm natural." I was like, "Dude." I was like, "What the hell?"
Name, please. Natural, damn it.
Yeah, I was like, "Wow." He's really adamant about being natural.
I would hate for the internet to think I'm lying. Gosh, I can only imagine.
Liver King with a twist.
Oh my gosh, yeah. When he came to Austin.
When he came to Austin, what?
Yeah.
I said when he came to Austin, what?
What?
How great is that phenomenon? The what phenomenon?
The what?
You know,
Oh yeah. I was
It's
watching.
kind of like lightly still there
It
once
is.
in a while.
I was watching the NFL draft, and then they go for the first pick in the 2000 whatever NFL draft. They go, what?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so great. Yeah, that guy's a huge wrestling fan. One of the guy on ESPN.
A bit heavier.
I forget what the guy's name is, but he was former Colt, former.
Oh, Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee, yeah.
Yeah. He did announcing for a long time, and then he's had a couple of matches. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Yeah, he's great.
He had Brock Lesnar on his show.
Yeah, I watched that. Yep.
And Brock goes to sit down, and like I don't know why, but like the table was like all small and stuff. And Brock goes to sit down, and he goes to like move around, and the thing breaks.
Yeah.
And then Pat McAfee's like, "What are you doing? You're breaking shit around here." And he's like, "This thing's so flimsy."
Yeah.
And then he went to like do something else, and the other thing broke.
Yeah.
And
He's
he's
so
just he's just in there, and he's all gigantic.
That's funny. Yeah. Huge.
Yeah, Brock's jacked.
Do you see where he worked everybody on his retirement?
Yeah.
Yeah. I bought it. Actually, I was like, oh, no. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, that guy, you know, I think people do stuff like in sports, and people do certain things, and I don't think people understand the magnitude of it.
Yeah.
You know, Deion Sanders is a huge deal, two-sport athlete. Bo Jackson, huge deal, two-sport athlete. I think maybe people just lump MMA and wrestling in together.
Yeah.
But Brock Lesnar, multiple-time NCAA champion, goes into the UFC. He's there for like a year and a half, and he's the heavyweight champion.
Oh, really? Yeah, it was only
Remember that?
like it was
maybe
quick.
2 years. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like lost one match, and then he won like two, and then he got the belt. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it's.
No, I don't think there'll ever be another Brock Lesnar. Especially not.
I mean, I think a documentary needs to be done just on that piece.
I agree.
Because that doesn't make any sense at all. You should not be able to do that.
No, it's incredible.
I mean, I know there's other people that have gone from wrestling into MMA, but he did it quickly, and he went and he had a long stint of professional wrestling in between.
Right.
And professional wrestling does not feel good.
No. Nice. Heck yeah. Awesome.
Ooh, that felt good. I kind of cheated with my extra break in between. They're not real dangerous either. Like, they're only dangerous if you're gonna, like, if you start trying to mess around with like a 300, it can get to be dangerous. Like, the risk to reward might not be there. You know?
That makes sense. Yeah.
But if you stay 150 and below, or maybe even most of 200, maybe a little bit here and there,
Okay.
you'll be totally fine. You'll be totally safe. Yeah, these. It's nice because we got different sizes and some of the different weights. It's nice to have the different weights. I do find it interesting that when it comes to bicep training, it's rare for people to really want to go heavy on it.
Really? Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it's a good. I think it's smart. I think it's smart to go pretty heavy on biceps.
I agree. And for me, you know, people always think that I'm going to tear my bicep when I'm doing my heavy preacher curls, like full range of motion and everything. But I've done that for years. And, you know, being able to rep out 60s, 65s, you know, to me, I've already accustomed to it. So I've never, like, in fear of tearing something because it's how I've lifted with the curls for so long.
Yeah.
And if the strength is there, it wouldn't be any more dangerous than somebody doing that with 30 pounds, you know? But
you acclimated to it, and I think a standing curl, I know, like, if you go, you know, competition,
thank you.
Going to a competition and you do like a strict curl, obviously they got rules about how much sway you can have. But I actually think a little bit of body English is kind of nice.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, and if you're doing like single arm dumbbell and you use a little bit, I think that's good. I think, like, you think about it this way, is that still working all the fibers, ligaments, tendons, musculature around the elbows? Well, of course it is.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you did kind of dip into it and you did move and you took advantage of that momentum. But it's that all that still got work. It's not like some giant negative to your body, right?
Yeah, I mean, comparing it to when I was younger and I lifted more that way more commonly, I still made a lot of progress, you know, because something was getting worked for sure. I think the way I picture it now is most things, say a standing curl, I'll do it as strict as I can for the sake of trackability.
Yeah.
And then as form starts to break down, then two to three little extra ones or whatever, and just keeping track of where my form broke down on a given set on a given day, and seeing if the next week or 2 weeks from then, and then I can add to my strict reps before I have to break.
I remember when we had Stan at the gym, and he would, when he deadlifted like a little bit. His arms were a little bent.
Oh, really?
And I remember some of the other, he would under over grip, and he'd be like this. And I remember some of the other power lifters are like, oh, he's going to tear his bicep. I'm like, he's going to tear those biceps? I was like, I don't think so.
Right.
Like, you can see your arm is, not that you couldn't get hurt, but like your arm is anchored in there really well. Like, you could tell that you spent a lot of time, many years of training that to where it's going to be robust enough to handle a lot of what you're talking about.
And to your point, a lot of like power lifters, they don't really train biceps all that hard, you know?
They don't train them nearly at all sometimes.
Yeah.
Or they used to not train them at all.
Yeah. I think today they still don't really all that much, to be honest.
What's this wacky one?
That's the 45.
What do you think of this Colton Ingebrigt? Like, what the
Oh my gosh.
What is going on with that
I
guy?
have no idea. But people like that make me very glad that I don't powerlift anymore. Because like
shit,
having to compare yourself to somebody like that is just like, dude, you just quit. You know what I mean? It's insane. Like, and he's still like going up, it seems, you know?
It's a crazy advancement because you're like, yeah, where does this end? And like,
right.
Normally everyone's like kind of fairly close to each other, like in terms of like how far you can jump or how high you can jump or how fast you can run.
Yeah.
Or, like, it's like a couple tenths of a second, or can be a lot if you're talking about a shorter distance. But in his case, what he's doing lifting wise, 1,036 squat and deadlift done in the same
week. beating almost world record totals with 2 lifts.
A 2,000 pound total is a lot in powerlifting.
Yeah.
Raw.
Yeah.
That's a lot, and he's smoking right through that just on 2 lifts.
And he's 275 class or something like that. Yeah. My gosh. He still benches like 5 something, right? Or is it 6?
He's right around 600 pounds, I think.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I'm trying to get him here to the States. We're talking about maybe like September or so.
Oh, that's right.
Trying to get him here. I'd love to get him out here.
What part of is England, right?
He's in.
or Europe somewhere?
I knew this for a minute. He's in. Shoot, I forget where he's at. Maybe South Africa. He's in South Africa.
Oh, South Africa. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
It took me a second to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Yeah, he's a monster. Very humble, very nice. We podcasted with him, but it was like we couldn't really get any there was no answers to how strong he is.
Yeah.
I was kind of like hoping to see my dad started me on 10 by 10 when I was 7 or something, but it was nothing like that. I was just like, yeah, I like lifting and got into it the same way you guys did. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Gotta be more. You're not a science experiment?
Seriously, though. Here you go. He's maxing out the gym. Nice. 2, 3. Nice. 4. Greatest of all time right here. 5. 6. Nice. There it is, Mark.
I'll do my reverse curl after on this one.
That was awesome.
Wow.
Oh yeah, that's a smarter combo. Now your veins are out for this.
It's all about the veins.
Yeah. There you go. Nice.
Have you run into the likes of Rip Rogers?
No, I haven't.
You know who he is?
He's a
Wrestling
wrestler.
coach?
Yeah. Where is he located again?
He was with Ohio Valley Wrestling for a long time.
Oh yeah, no, I haven't.
I don't think they have that whole system. It's not the same anymore.
No, it's not the same. They still have it, but it's not like a feeder system or anything.
I'm pretty sure. I don't really know 100%, but I'm pretty sure Rip Rogers is where Jacked and Tan comes from.
Is it?
Like literally the term Jacked and Tan, I think, comes from him. That's the first time I ever heard it.
Oh, you didn't invent it?
No, I didn't invent it. No, he would tell us, boys, you got to be goddamn jacked and you got to be tan.
Really?
Especially you, Smelly. He'd be like, he'd get on us.
Oh, that's funny. I thought that was
shit.
your thing this whole time.
Yeah, he'd kind of like blink a lot. He'd kind of move his head around.
Yeah.
Got to be jacked, got to be tan. He would say, well, actually, so before that even, he would say, ripped, tan, and vascular.
Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah.
You got to be ripped. And he would go over this with us as if it was like, part of like a class.
Yeah, the curriculum.
Yeah, lecture. Yeah. Yeah, curriculum. Boys, what goddamn page are we on? Page 43, Rip. We'd all say it at the same time. You got to be vascular. He's like, what else, Smelly? I'm like, tan.
Yeah.
He'd like make us, he's like, pop quiz. What are the 3 major things that you need for pro wrestling?
That's funny.
And we'd say, yeah, Rip, Tan, and Vascular, or Jacked and Tan eventually.
That's cool. That's cool. And then you made it your own thing with this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just fun.
I had no idea that was from wrestling. That's cool.
It's from pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, probably everything amazing comes from pro wrestling.
I don't know if I've ever asked you this, but at what point was your turning point walking away from wrestling, getting into lifting again? Like what led to that decision?
Well, I wanted to give wrestling a shot. I wanted to give it a real, honest shot. And so when I had my son Jake,
okay,
I told my wife, I was like, I'm probably going to give this another 3 or 4 years. Mm-hmm. At that point, I was already in for maybe 1 or 2.
Okay.
I was like, but if there's really no light at the end of the tunnel, I was like, I don't think it makes sense. I think I need to do something else, know? And so we got to that kind of 5-year period. I was in Ohio Valley I was at Ohio Valley Wrestling, and I wasn't really progressing. I don't feel like I was progressing. Mm-hmm. And then I went and I talked to them. I said, hey, I think I'm moving on, doing something different. And they're like, oh, we really like you here. You fit in. And they were like, oh, we're thinking about using you for. I was like, after thinking about it further, I feel like I'm too far away to you know what I mean? Just to get on a TV taping, right? And then there's no security right after that. So I was like, yeah, I think I'm done with this chapter.
I see. Yeah.
And it wasn't too shortly after that we moved, and then we lived in Davis. And when we lived in Davis, which is right around here, Davis, California, Northern California, that's when I just started. When I was cruising around town all the time, and I'd think about I want to have a gym here. I want to have a gym there. But I didn't have any money.
How old are you at this time?
26 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, right around 26, 27. So yeah, over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just thinking to myself, I need to have a gym. I need to have a gym. I need to have a gym. So when I moved to the area, I tried to find local powerlifters, because I powerlifted as a kid and I stopped for a little bit of a period of time to do wrestling.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to get back into it, and I knew I couldn't do it by myself. So I found someone local to go and powerlift in their garage. I also stumbled upon Jesse Burdick, who lived further away, like an hour and a half away. I trained with him, and then maybe fast forward a year, and I get the first iteration of super training in somebody else's gym.
Okay.
In a gym that was in Woodland, California, called Body Construction Zone. And it just worked out. I was able to have this group of people pay for the equipment, the reverse hyper, the glute ham raise, a competition bench, a monolift, like all that stuff. And got started and just invited a bunch of powerlifters in there. And I was coaching at the high school. I was coaching football.
Okay.
And I was a strength coach for the football team. And that's kind of how all that happened. I met a guy that was opening up a gym, and we connected on that. And opened up kind of the first iteration of super training, and then fast forward a little bit from there, they didn't pay me. I was like managing their gym. I was doing personal training there, and then one day I just didn't get a check.
Oh, really?
And I was like, hey, like, what's going on here? Like, I got a family, like, no one gives me a heads up or anything.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you got to talk to someone. So I talked to 3 different people. Nobody knew what's up for whatever reason. I'm like, okay, I get it. Jim's probably not doing well. He can't afford me. It's fine. I was like, I want to be able to buy all the equipment that you guys have, take it out of here and go somewhere else, and we'll just go our separate ways. And they were like, okay. And I bought that equipment with their money. I bought that equipment from Elite.
Okay.
And then when I went back to them, they didn't know how much it cost.
Really?
So I was like, I'm going to give you $5,000 for all that stuff, and it's it's easily worth more than that, So anyway, I got a good deal on a bunch of equipment. They kept a little bit of it, and then super training started off of Norwood in Sacramento, and that was kind of the beginning. I was just needed a couple people to join in with me, because the gym wasn't free at first, because I couldn't afford it. So I was like, if I can find 10 people that would pay $100. I'm like, we got the rent covered, you know? And so that's what I did, and then not too long after that, the slingshot comes along and saves the day.
Yeah, oh, that's awesome. So the slingshot is when it really took off.
Slingshot, the slingshot took off right away.
Yeah.
The slingshot was huge.
Was YouTube already started at that point, or was the slingshot first?
I was on YouTube from the very beginning.
Okay.
YouTube started in 2006. And the first video of me on there is probably early 2007.
Oh, wow, okay.
But I was doing stuff with Elite already at the time. And I used to have an account on something called Putfile, which doesn't exist anymore.
No, I never heard of it.
But it was kind of like YouTube. And before that, I had some stuff. MySpace was probably there.
Okay.
Ish, yeah. But yeah, the slingshot took off because I already had a little bit of a following from Elite.
Okay.
And I was making videos on YouTube. And I was already several hundred videos in. And when I was like, oh, I got this product, I made this supportive upper body device for bench, push-ups, dips. People were pretty much right on board with it, almost right away. I mean, there's always the haters, but for the most part, people were in on it. And we sold through that first order. Pretty quickly. I thought we would be able to sell through it in a year, and we pretty much did, but there was, I messed up on some sizing. I had these small ones that were so small they wouldn't fit like a baby.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
So I wasn't able to sell those, but it was successful right off the bat.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I didn't know that's where it all came from.
Yeah, and then Slingshot just made everything because I just had the resources, the money to do it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Big biceps.
Yep.
Here we go, Mr. House. No more messing around.
Nope.
Yeah. There you go. Nice.
Oh, nice.
I would say that, like, for me, that powerlifting was like always in the background.
Okay.
And I always knew I'd go back to powerlifting, and so with powerlifting being in the background and then me failing at pro wrestling, I was like, I'm all in.
Yeah.
You know, because I did it as a kid, and I just happened to be kind of good at it. I was a big kid, and I was pretty good at like bench, and I was decent at deadlift, sucked at squat. I'm
really?
like, I'm gonna learn this, and I'm going all in, and then I just having my own gym and stuff like that helped a lot.
Yeah.
And then having other powerlifters around me helped a lot. But I went from like having virtually no real equipped total, because when I was a kid I mainly benched, and sometimes I would bench and deadlift, and I think whatever numbers I may have had were just raw.
Yeah,
So they weren't geared or anything like that. And then so as an adult, I went from like a 700-pound squat, a 600-pound bench-ish, and like a 650 deadlift or something like that, I think, in my first meet. And then just that went from that number to 1,080,
Yeah.
you know, an 854 bench and a 766 deadlift.
Yeah.
A few years later.
Yeah,
you know what I
okay.
mean? But it happened pretty quick, because I
Right.
was like, phew, I'm in.
Right away. Were you powerlifting training when you were wrestling, or did you change it up there?
I was trying to, but it didn't work great.
Yeah.
Because like my neck would hurt a lot. You know,
Yeah.
my neck, like, it wouldn't like hurt, but like we trained so much, like we would train like 3 or 4 hours every day. I don't know if they treat the contracted people the same way, but like anybody that was like under contract, and including myself who wasn't under contract, you if you were trying to be part of it, you were training for like 4 hours every day, like doing wrestling matches.
Yeah.
And it was hard. So I was always like super fatigued trying to lift. And then Mark Henry and a couple other guys were like, dude, you can't, like, it doesn't work that way. You
Oh,
can't.
he was there at the time? Like, he was talking to you? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I used to beat Mark in Madden.
Really? Oh, that's awesome. I have to tell him that when I call him. That's hilarious. I'm sure
He's like, this game's lame. He's like,
yeah,
let's
I
do
can see
something else.
I can see him be like, man, screw this game.
Yeah, it's exactly it. I mean, I would still kind of power lift, but it was like almost like, I guess, powerlifting the upper body more so.
Yeah.
And not really doing a lot with the lower.
Yeah, I can see that being really, really hard.
Whenever somebody tells me they have like something wrong with their neck and they're trying to like lift, I'm always like, man, I feel your pain. Because like when I was wrestling, it was really hard. It wasn't like my neck it wasn't injured. It was just like tired.
Yeah.
You know, all landing all. But you're probably used to like that with jiu-jitsu and all the other things that you've done.
Yeah,
wrestling.
that's a
Your
good
neck's
point.
probably built up pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say so. But
I remember
even
going
still,
to the gym and trying to lift and just being so weak. I was like, man, what the hell's going on? Yeah. We all good on these, or are you going to keep curling?
Oh, yeah, all good on the curls, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Get a little pause in there.
Yeah, this is good.
So these are called triad dumbbells. And it's kind of nice, because especially on exercises like this, because you put your hand inside the whole thing, and you don't have to waste your grip.
Yeah,
which is kind of annoying on a lateral raise. For some reason, it's always messing with your grip.
Yeah, I don't have to flex at all here. This is great. Is Triad the company, or?
I think Triad's what the thing's called.
Okay.
It's like the actual product. Derek, I don't remember Derek's last name off the top of my head, but he was on my podcast before.
Okay.
He's the creator of these. He made a bunch of other stuff too. That's really cool.
This is really helpful. I can see these being pretty cool for like tricep extensions.
I think maybe the company that Chris Duffin used to be part of, or maybe Takeover. Maybe that's where Derek's at now.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Derek's innovative. Got a lot of great products. He actually wrote a pretty crazy book. It's called Tea Time with the Reaper. And it's about people openly talking about death.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because he went through a real tragic thing with his wife dying from breast cancer. And he just thinks like it's the most absurd thing that we don't ever talk about death. He's like, why don't we talk to our loved ones about like, hey, what happens if you die? You know?
Yeah.
And it's just, it's a hard thing to do, right?
It is.
But important, right?
Yeah. It's sad to think about, but yeah, it is. I think it's important to have a plan.
My father-in-law, he wrote out like all this. He wrote out like all this stuff
Did he?
when he
Okay.
died, and his wife never knew.
Oh, really?
But when he died, and I don't know if she found it or exactly how it happened, but he had everything, like, you know, how he wanted to be buried, where he wanted to be buried. He had everything. And he told her a lot of stuff, too. He communicated with her, but she was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
You know, this is great that he, like, left me this instructions on what I should do.
Probably
rather than me, you know, assuming he would like this, assuming
way less
he'd like that.
stressful.
Yeah, I was like, that's kind of cool.
That makes sense.
Yeah, who wants to talk about that, though? Nobody wants to talk about
No, that's a scary thought. Yeah.
But it's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's going to happen to all of us.
You're right.
Glad I'm able to spend some time with you, dude.
No, thank you, Mark. I really appreciate it.
I mean, normally this would be $500 an hour.
Yeah, me paying you.
That's right. You got all this wisdom and charisma now. It wouldn't surprise me next time you're here, you're WWE champ. I mean,
We'll make it a goal. I remember the last time I was here, something that meant a lot to me, and it was full circle when I told you about my experience. But both you and your brother said you saw some similarities between John Cena and I don't take that to inflate my ego, but more so it just it meant a lot from a confidence standpoint at the time. And you know, that was like actually one of the main bits of encouragement that I used to like try to trick myself into thinking that I could maybe do something. So I appreciate that early on. It was very helpful. Thank you.
Hell yeah. You're a lot shorter than him, though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I'm Filipino version.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel it all in the side delt.
It's kind of interesting, you know, when you're a kid and you're trying to like build a body. Seems complicated. It seems like you're kind of hard. You're like, oh, I'm never going to get there, you know, because you're scrawny or you're not big enough or whatever. But as you get older, you're like, really, if I'm to think about like the things that you would highlight to get to look like you're in good shape it can be difficult because of the nutrition side of things.
Yeah.
But really all we're talking about is like, okay, this is a beefy arm, so that'd be hard to build a beefy arm that big, right? And he's just big in general, but like asking you to get like a little bit of visible stuff going on and visible lines in the shoulders, I don't think it's too crazy. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you that it's not a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but it's really not that hard, and it's impressive looking.
Right.
You know, when you're looking at somebody and you're checking out their shoulders or their arms and stuff, when you identify that someone's jacked, it's like bicep vein is a common thing, right?
Yeah.
A bicep vein. A little bit of definition through the shoulder. Maybe like if someone's pretty lean, then you get the separation between the tricep and the bicep is a really good look. But I mean, you don't feel like, do you feel like this is really hard to maintain?
Nowadays, no. Like this, thankfully,
But it was hard to get there. It's hard to get big and jacked, right?
Yeah, especially like the dieting aspect, because like eating is very like natural to me. Obviously, you can relate.
The food side is just it's very difficult.
Right, and so the hardest part for me for a while was, to your point, like looking like you trained like that. But ever since I got the initial weight off from being 270, I've maintained like 200 to 210 the last.
Was that maybe like 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah. My last big weight loss was 250 down to 200, so I've maintained that for the last few years. And so now I just developed the habits around dieting and stuff like that. Yeah, it's been very easy per se to maintain.
Are you? I know you said you work with a meal prep company, but maybe even before that, were you working towards like trying to prep your own food, or like how did you manage?
Yeah, I would just
getting
keep
in
it,
your macros and
I just keep it really simple with like
you count or track.
You know, at the time, like before the meal prep companies and stuff, I honestly didn't track all that much. I just I knew from a quantitative standpoint how much food that I generally eat when I'm losing weight versus not. I used to look at macros and whatnot as homework, so it kind of deterred me away. But I ate so poorly at the time, so just switching to good healthy food was an automatic deficit. So that was my initial cheat code. But nowadays, since I'm a little bit more regimented, I try to be much more aware of the diet, because cutting to me now isn't as easy as going from fast food and Panda Express twice a day to beef and vegetables. It's a little bit more like, okay, I need to do a little bit less of the quantity of healthy food that I'm eating now.
Yeah, you start talking about, and everyone has a different kind of set point, but for the most part, somebody starts talking about getting like under 12%, maybe under 10%. It's really rare for that to happen without like a lot of extra work.
Yeah.
Or extra thought. The extra conversation with yourself at 9 p.m., 10 p.m. to not eat that extra bullshit that you're normally like, I'm already jacked. Like, what's the difference, right?
Yeah.
You have to talk yourself out of that to get to that next level, you know? Even Nsima will go up and down a tiny bit. He always looks amazing. He'll go up and down a tiny bit, but he was just telling me the other day, he's like, I'm tightening things up a little bit again. I'm like, I could tell, because he looks awesome. He looks shredded. But it's normal. It's normal for people to have a little fluctuation.
Yeah.
And then I think what's cool, though, is like my fluctuation when I was 270, right, is I would be 270 and then 260 when I was like better with my food. And then over time, that kept ratcheting downward. It's like you might go from like 15% body fat to kind of being a little bit more like 12. And then you might bounce back up again a little bit, but maybe you only go to 13 or 14.
Yeah.
And then you go back down to 11. You know what I mean? Like it kind of keep bracketing down over time, and you keep getting better and better.
Yeah, and I think that goes to the point of what we talked about in the podcast with the smaller investments, as opposed to like a big max out session. Like those quantitative decisions over time has what allowed you to maintain this general look for such a long time, and for myself too. If I kept eating that way, I definitely think I'd be well over 300 pounds at this point.
Oh my God!
At my height, so. Nowadays I've gotten back to being able to fit in like a good solid like cheat day per se, which generally just means like going to a nice restaurant and having whatever they have, but like not gaining weight from that as much anymore. So it's good.
I used to gain I'd have like a cheat weekend.
There you go. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like it's supposed to be a cheat day, like a Saturday, but then it would turn into a Saturday Sunday thing.
Yeah.
And it's like I'd gain like 11 pounds.
Right.
It's like, what the. Now I can look at that and like laugh, but I'm like, man, that was when I was young. I would lose that 11 pounds, boom, like that. And obviously it's just water and a bunch of other bullshit going on, but like pretty crazy to be able to gain that weight that quick.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's crazy for me too, especially my two bodybuilding shows. The first time I didn't know what I was doing, but the second time I knew well what I was doing, but both times I gained like 25 pounds afterwards, like immediately.
I was lucky I got warned about that. People were like, don't, and I'm like, I can gain weight easy, so I'm going to pay attention to that.
I got warned and I decided to not listen.
It's hard.
Yeah, no, it is. Oh, that's awesome.
It's way more comfortable than the rope.
Your hands just relaxing. That's awesome.
Get these chubby little hands out of here. Boom.
Sweet.
Yep, you got it. Yeah, they take a minute to like kind of figure out. You're like, oh. You see this back development back here that we got going on. See the lats coming out, Christmas tree.
Is it still back there?
Oh yeah.
That's good to know.
Yep. Isn't it weird how every once in a while you can get really locked in with your diet?
Yeah.
And then you get locked out and you're like, why am I locked out? What happened?
And I wonder how I ever got locked in.
Yeah, right? Isn't that weird? I talked to a lot of people about that. Everyone's like, yeah, man, it's bizarre. you just get to this point where you're like, F it, man, I'm going all in. I'm going to get shredded.
Yeah.
You get totally shredded. But I think you also kind of like, you know and understand like no one cares.
Right.
Like you look amazing.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like if you came in and you were 2% leaner, yeah, you might feel better, but I probably wouldn't even barely notice.
Yeah. But then
I'd be like, wow, dude. I might just make one quick comment and be like, oh, dude, you're leaned out. Like, and that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you were killing yourself for it.
But we live for those moments.
I know. That's true. Yeah, that's true. I live and die by that.
You can always tell how I'm feeling about myself in my matches if I go singlet or if I go trunks.
Oh, nice. Yeah, the trunks is brave.
Yeah.
Stone Cold was rocking those trunks for a long time, and the Hulkster.
Yep.
How was the organization last night?
Good. I guess
It was like, a local promotion?
Yeah. I guess they're like the main one in. Well, they run in Elk Grove, but I guess Sacramento is called SPW.
Cool.
But yeah, it was solid. They had like an indoor soccer field where they put it in. So I've never wrestled on that landscape before.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And does WWE kind of give you a little bit of freedom in terms of like, hey, here's the matches you can kind of go and do, sort of thing?
Yeah.
And then you pick. Is that how you did this one?
The WWID program pretty much gives us full freedom of working indies and whatnot. Like I've worked Brian. You know Brian Cage?
Yep.
Yeah, I had a match with Brian after being with WWID, but he's with AEW. So on the independents, it's kind of free reign. The ID program is supposed to support independent wrestling or independent wrestlers, and then like help them on their way up to the next level. But you're essentially encouraged to do as much work as you can on the independents to get the reps that you need, so on and so forth. So they actually encourage stuff like that, which is nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then they have like ID schools is what it's called. So like Booker T schools, ID school. So a lot of us will do the shows that they have there every month and stuff like that. So
you can tell Booker T that you worked out with the guy that he beat up in the grocery store.
He did that?
That was me.
You're an extra for that?
That was me.
Was that the Stone Cold scene? Oh, I'm going to have to watch that back. I had no idea.
What's crazy about that is that's like WWE top 50 moments of all time.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking in it randomly.
Really? You were brought in as an extra for that one?
I was Stone Cold. Yeah, they gave me like a little goatee. They gave me like a little fake goatee back because I didn't have any fucking facial hair back then.
So did your face show in that one?
It does, yeah. Like I roll over and you see my face.
Oh.
And then Booker T is like, what the? And then you hear the whoosh, you hear the beer, and then Stone Cold just starts beating the shit out of him.
I had no idea. Okay.
Dude, I was trying not to like die laughing. I mean, they were making all kinds of noise, so I could still make a noise. But like, I was trying to like watch some of it and stuff from where I was. I wasn't supposed to get up, you know. 'Cause I can't be like in the background after I got beat up or whatever. But that was the hardest thing, was to just lay there the whole time, because they fought for like 8 minutes, you know?
Yeah, that's legendary.
I totally wanted to watch it.
Yeah. Wow. Was that out here?
It was in Bakersfield.
Bakersfield, okay.
It was insane. I spent the whole day. I spent like 5 or 6 hours with Shane McMahon.
Oh, really?
It was nuts, because like I'm trying to make it into wrestling, you know? I'm just like hanging out with Shane McMahon.
Was he like with the extras helping or something, or?
He was just helping coordinate the whole thing.
Okay.
And talking to the owners, and the owners were all about it. They were into it, but he had to kind of reassure them that they weren't. Yeah, your place is gonna get destroyed, but you're gonna be compensated.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard how the whole what thing came about? The Stone Cold, the what thing?
I feel like I've heard them describe it, but I don't remember.
I think what they said happened is that Stone Cold was like tired. He's like on a road trip, and he's like just calling people and just kind of messing around. And I think he left a message for Christian, I think. And he left this message, and he said something, and then he said, what? And then he said something else, and he said, what? And then Christian thought it was like hilarious, so Christian called him back with it. And then they all just kind of started like marking out for it,
Wow.
I think that's what the story was.
Okay.
I think that's what I remember hearing.
when you hear the stories about how these things come up, it's actually really funny. Like John Cena's, rapping gimmick.
Oh yeah.
How he got into that.
Yeah, he's just in the back, like kind of messing around, right? Or on a bus, maybe.
Yeah. Did you know he could freestyle when you knew him?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. He used to, outside of the bar that we worked at, he would do it a little bit.
Uh-huh.
But it wasn't like he's out there freestyling the whole time.
Yeah.
But he would mess with it, and me and my brother were always like, me and my brother were always confused by him because we were like, what can he do? Like somebody, when you're like in your 20s or whatever, like lifting and doing whatever other stuff, somebody would jump and touch something in the gym. They'd be like, pop, and they'd just like pop up and jump at it, and you're like, holy fuck. Mm-hmm. And John would be like, I can do that. And you're like, there's no way. Like, you're like 260. Like, that's not happening.
Yeah.
And he, boom.
Damn.
And he could jump like crazy. It was interesting when he would jump, he would squat down real low.
Oh, really?
He would get like, some people, they only need to go here. He would just like get way down and still be able to generate crazy amounts of power. Super athletic, super athletic. Athletic in, like, I would say, like wide range, because you see him do cleans and snatches and stuff.
Yeah.
And you can see that athleticism in there. But then he also did like a ton of bodybuilding, a ton of strength training.
Yeah.
And he built himself up. And then like the first thing they called him, the first gimmick he had was to be the prototype.
The prototype, yeah.
Because they were like, oh, he's kind of robotic because he's like a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
So yeah, he did have some of those characteristics of having a little bit of that tightness to his body, but then he's also insanely athletic in other ways.
Yeah.
Maybe not as athletic as a Shawn Michaels, or Macho Man, but who the hell is, Those guys are like different level.
Yeah, they are. No, because he played, what level of football was it?
He was a Division III, I believe.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
He was a Division III football player, but he played all 4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, man, playing past high school is a big deal, I think, in any sport.
Yeah, most definitely.
I think it gets undervalued because you always hear D1. You always hear that. You always hear scholarship athlete and stuff.
Yeah.
And those people are, exponentially even more amazing. But for someone to go to college and do it all 4 years says something.
Didn't he play line, though?
He was a center, yeah.
Yeah, so for his size, if he was bigger, he probably would have been D1, I'd assume.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Being shredded as a center.
Yeah, I know. That's the weird, that's the other thing. I mean, he'd hold 250, 260, but be shredded.
Yeah,
it's like, doesn't make any sense.
That would have been really weird to see on the line.
Yeah, he's got some different genetics, that's for sure.
Yeah, his physique is awesome.
Upper body crushed?
Yep, this is great. I needed this, Mark. Thank you. Look at that. That's what I want to be when I grow up.
I think you're growing up, Jimmy House.
Now I am, yeah.
Where can people find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Coach Jimmy House, TikTok at CJ Valor WWE, X at CJ Valor WWE, and YouTube at Jimmy House. Thank you guys for your time. Thank you, Mark, for your time. It's always an honor. And just being at Super Training, there's so much history here. I wish I could visit more, but every single time I come back, I feel like I'm right at home with Mark. So thank you.
Strength is never weakness. Weakness never strength. Catch you guys later. Bye.